Hello and welcome to the short take with Jake and Alex. And this week is episode 7.
Oh God, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing this so wrong.
Should I start again?
No, you don't start again. We've started, but you say, "Welcome to the short take. I'm Jake, and with me today, as always, is Alex." And then I go, "Hey up, Chuck."
Yeah, I remember you saying that every single
Yeah, I
week.
do that every
actually,
single episode.
Yeah, maybe I should just get you to stand, hold up a script right next to me.
Oh my God, that'd be like cue cards.
So do you want to hit us with that ditty?
Same as every the same
week.
one we do every week. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the ditty we do every week is short take.
Exactly like that. Yeah, exactly like that. And I just love trying to make you do it every week. I like trying to catch you out.
Well, what do you think's gonna happen? I'm gonna forget it.
I mean, maybe, but so far you've not.
I'm like an elephant. Yeah. I never forget.
So, welcome to episode 7. This week we looked at a short film called Hero that was released in 2013, and this was Alex's pick.
Mm-hmm.
Should I go right ahead with the synopsis?
Yeah.
Cool. So, the synopsis, very short, and it's just from the YouTube channel. A young and nervous superhero grapples with his choices on the morning before his first big battle. Do you want to hit us with that Alexopsis?
The Alexopsis?
Yeah.
Wait, this came out 3 years before Deadpool?
Didn't you make one about Deadpool before?
I did. I think like the second episode. I can do it again. Fuck you.
Oh, someone's got a bit of an obsession.
No, these people do. That's my problem. So, like, the reason we're doing this is because, interesting fun fact, before we get into it, is the creator, Dom Fera, who's a pretty big internet personality. I feel like people will probably know who that is. Do you know who that is?
No, I do not, but he does have quite a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, he's made a lot of, he did a lot of sketch comedy, I think, back in the day, and then have you ever seen The Laser Collection?
I have not.
It was almost like, I think it came out maybe before at the same time as the Astaf movie. Very similar, really short animated bits, but it would always be like somebody fires a laser at the end from their mouth, and that was the joke. It was pretty good. It was like classic internet dumb comedy.
Yeah.
But he did that back in the day, and then he kind of started doing proper sketches, and then this was kind of around the time, 2013. It's like kind of, I don't know, a peak time in YouTube, I'd say.
It was.
Sketch and comedy creators. But he made this in 2013, and then in 2017, so 5 years later, 4 years later? Wait, why can't I do math?
4 years.
Jesus.
4 years later.
4 years later, roughly.
Yeah.
He remade it with funding, and we've not watched that. We're going to watch that separately, and that'll be the next episode, I'm assuming.
Will. Very excited for it.
So what did you... I haven't seen this for a while. It's the first time I've watched it, probably since 2013, roughly. Okay. Probably 2017. I probably went back and watched it.
So did you find this through his YouTube channel? Did you follow him?
Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of his, but I've seen quite a lot of his stuff, and I think it definitely just popped up, and I was like, oh, what's this? But yeah, so I haven't seen it in a while, so I have my own kind of probably new thoughts. But what do you think?
I thought it was pretty fun. I quite liked the idea. I quite like what they were going for.
Yeah.
I think on the whole, they executed it really well.
Yeah.
You can definitely see the not having a budget has held them back. And I'm really interested to see what things they change and if it's the same things that I would have liked to have seen.
It's very different. It captures the same story and concept, and it's got a very similar structure, but it's very different, and I think in a really interesting way.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I think it is quite an interesting and unique take on it, I guess. Especially in 2013 when, superhero stuff was fairly new still.
Yeah.
I guess we were post the first Avengers film, weren't we?
Yeah, 2012 was when the first Avengers film hit, so it's just after that.
So it's still fairly early days on superhero stuff. It's not completely
saturated. He's a
saturated.
massive superhero fan. He's a big Spider-Man fan, and I think that played into a lot of what he was trying to do.
Yeah, it did have a very Spider-Man-y kind of vibe, didn't it? Just a kid down on his luck kind of thing. Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
The thing that I think is the most impressive, because so I tried to look at the budget. There's not a budget. So I'm assuming they made it on almost nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of things they had to buy.
Yeah, definitely. But in general, it's not it was all filmed in, I'm assuming, his apartment.
Yeah.
With I know the other guy is a friend of his who's appeared in quite a few of his videos, and he stars in it as well as writing and directing it. And I think Dom
he did so much of it.
Yeah,
like,
and he's a pretty good actor. I think
he was quite good. Yeah, I quite like.
He's a good actor. I think again from his time doing like sketch comedy and stuff, he's just got a natural like.
Yeah, I guess you build it up, don't you?
Which is good.
Yeah, if you're going to do it that much, then...
Yeah, and he did all the music, and I know he's very musically talented. So he did all the background music, which I think is worth... Again, it's like... I think this is the first one since... The only other one, I guess, other than Bottle Rocket, that I've really noticed the music.
Yeah, I really like the music in this.
The music
I thought
cool.
It really fit well.
It's a cool, like, cheesy, like, typical superhero music, but, like, done well.
Yeah, no, and it fitted everything that was happening as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, they formed it around the beats of the film, which is what a professional soundtrack would do. And I thought it worked really well. I thought it was very well executed.
I think the thing that impressed me the most with the budget and everything, and like just what they achieved with the film, is two things. It's they did the thing which I always say is like the one thing you should do, which is they made a film, and this film could only be a film. There are parts of the story that are only told with like visuals, and like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, this like
it was made to be a film.
Yeah, like him looking at stuff and it actually meaning something, but like you don't necessarily know what it means. Like, there's the bit where he looks up at the he keeps looking at the framed hospital band that's like burnt. And just the implication, like, you just put together in your head what's probably... Because he says at the beginning how he had, like, every disease as a joke, and then he got struck by lightning, and now he can't die. So, assumedly, he was in hospital or something, and then he'd been going in that hospital. When he got hit by the bolt, he was wearing that. And it's kind of like, I don't know, like a souvenir almost of what before.
Yeah, it's like a reminder, isn't it? Yeah, and I really like that he was wearing it at the end.
Yes, he chooses to put it on, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But stuff like that I think is really impressive. Like, and the use of the fan mail at the end where he looks at all the and then the kids' drawings.
That was so effective. That was like one of the best bits.
Without saying anything, it's just like like you're just getting so much from just the visuals and the visual storytelling.
Yeah.
But also the set design in general. I think I don't know if you noticed, but the production design of like the colors. Like, he's wearing blue. He's wearing blue. He's got a blue undershirt, a blue shirt, and then he's got blue bedding and blue curtains all behind him in one shot.
Oh, okay,
and it's such like, it's simple, but it's like it does do it's that thing of the theory of color where it's like blue means like sadness. Do you know what I mean? It's like stuff like that, or it's like you could also look at it, blue is kind of like good. Like, think about Star Wars, like blue and red lightsabers. Like,
and his superhero outfit is blue,
and
the
yellow.
Baddies is red, isn't it? So it's like he is the superhero, even if he doesn't want to be. It is his life.
Yeah, it's really, and obviously, the story being about him dealing with the fact that he was in a place where he was gonna die, like almost certainly. Then he suddenly miraculously was given powers where he now is pretty much invulnerable, and now he's being faced with something that could kill him after all this time of not feeling like he couldn't die.
Yeah, it's a great theme. It's a great
100%
topic for
and it takes him back
film.
to who he was, because he was that coward who didn't want to die. Say coward, that's not really a nice thing to say. I feel like everyone should,
I think
it's fair to be afraid of dying.
He says it to himself, doesn't he? Kind of like he implies it. I think that is a very core part of it, that he sees himself as a coward, and like even though he knows that, even though he sees himself that way, he still takes the the easy road out.
It's really interesting, and the excuse he keeps saying. I mean, it's really, the writing in general I think is really effective, but I think the writing of the bit where he says at the beginning, "I didn't ask for the lightning bolt," and then when he says it again after you kind of because I think that's the first thing he says when he gets up.
Yeah,
and he just wakes up.
The first time he says it, it's like in a way, it's like a happy way of saying it. It's like, oh, I didn't ask for it. It's just luck. I'm a lucky person.
And then he fleshes out what's happening, and then you get the bit he's brushing his teeth, and he looks at you and he says, "I didn't ask for the lightning bolt." Basically, him saying like that's his excuse right now.
Yeah,
is that I didn't ask for this. It's not my responsibility. Yeah. It is a Spider-Man story, if anything. Do you know what I mean? It's Spider-Man 2. It's that whole thing of like great power, great responsibility. But what if? How is it fair if it causes you harm? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why is it your duty and stuff? And it's like,
why do you have to?
Like, you don't have to, but you should.
Yeah, it's like the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I think he knows that, and obviously that's the story. But like,
yeah,
I think it's really effective. Like, it's 12 minutes. It doesn't feel like 12 minutes at all. It breezes by, I think.
Yeah.
And I think his writing is like for a fourth wall breaking thing. And I think it's fair to compare this to The Plumber. I think you can see the kind of difference in how I think Dom's writing, not all the time, I think sometimes it doesn't hit, but I think most of Dom's writing is good enough. And I think his performance is good enough that the fourth wall breaking works.
Yeah, I think, he has a lot of... I think the thing that this film does well, and I guess you could make a comparison to someone like Edgar Wright, like everything he does comes back. Everything he says comes back. You know,
100%.
like every word that comes out of his mouth has purpose. It has genuine purpose and power to it. You know, like it is important to his character or to the story. Nothing in there is unnecessary.
Yeah.
And that's what I guess that's kind of what makes it breeze by. You know, it's got really good pacing.
Yeah.
And then the plumber is, I mean, it's a different film, but it's more of a monologue, isn't it?
To be fair.
He's just talking to the camera about stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, in a way, it's a character dive, but this is much more of an interesting take on it, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think what they've done is the plumber was cool. I like the plumber. When you look at the concept of what the plumber is and what Hero is, I think the interesting thing that he's done with Hero is he's taken something that we know and understand and put a spin on it, right?
Yeah.
Like he's saying, what if a hero didn't want to go and fight the bad guy? What if a hero was a normal person and they were like scared about fighting their villain?
Yeah.
It's
I think
kind of the thing, whereas I feel the plumber is like, I don't know. It's like kind of we've said recently about how you kind of need a twist or something. And I think what he's done is this doesn't have a twist, but it has an arc and a really clear arc, right? Like we start the story, he doesn't want to do it. And the question of the film becomes, will he do it? And in the end, he does. But I could also see a version where he doesn't. And like, I think either one's interesting. It's just seeing how we get there and like what the journey is.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly what you said. Basically, it has an arc. You know, it has a purpose to exist, whereas the plumber maybe doesn't as much.
Yeah, I think it's lacking because it doesn't have an arc for the character of the plumber. You then need the twist of it, right?
Which it also doesn't have.
Yeah, it doesn't have. Like, remember we said it. What if like at the end the person's house he goes to after establishing at the beginning what he does? The guy's house. I guess the twist is meant to be that he kills the guy, isn't it?
It comes too soon, and it was also too obvious.
Yeah,
like,
so I feel like if they just set up at the beginning of that short film that he's a murderer, which it was very obvious.
Yeah.
Then have the twist at the end be maybe the person's house he goes to is also a murderer or something.
Yeah.
Like do something interesting. I don't know. Like when you have such short amount of time, I think it's worth just like do something crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean. Yeah, I think this worked really, really well. One thing that I don't know, I mean, it's a short film and everything, and I think it kind of breezed past it a little bit, was he didn't make it for 12 o'clock. Like, the whole thing was like, if he doesn't get there at 12 o'clock, loads of people are going to die. And those people do die.
Yeah, I think the idea is he just starts, like, rampaging around, right? Like... And so...
But I think on the TV you hear people die.
You hear people screaming. Yeah. And they're like... And you hear him saying like, oh, well, you didn't show up and I'm going to fuck everyone up. But no, I totally get what you mean. Like...
Yeah, it felt like...
I think the ticking clock element could have been implemented in a more interesting way, maybe. Like, it is, right? Like, it's the whole thing is he has to make a decision.
Yeah, it could have been like... You know, like the last shot could have been him... You know, the breeze of him flying away, and then you pan up and you see the second hand tick over to 12 o'clock, and it's like, you know, he's already gone.
Yeah, that could have been it. Like, yeah, I think it does, like, they do miss a beat on that. I think it's something maybe didn't consider, and then if you were to say that to them now, I think they would be like, fuck. Like, that would just really fit, and I think work.
Yeah, I think they do. I kind of can see why they did it as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they wanted to be...
To really make you think he's not going to, maybe, like...
Yeah, and also, sometimes you don't know you need to do something until it's a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're putting something off that has a fixed deadline, then you're like, oh, you know, I can just leave it and I can not properly process that yet.
Yeah,
but as soon as it happens, he's like, oh no, I have to, like, this is my fault. You have to take that in. And maybe that's kind of part of why he decides to go in the end.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I think I like the thing of, like, throughout how we're essentially watching his morning routine.
Yeah.
Because the idea of him, like, trying to, like, act like it's nothing. Like, he's trying to pretend this isn't a big deal. He's trying to be like, oh, I'm just going to have a normal morning as if I've never been this superhero guy. And that's fine. And, like, obviously it's not. I like the peeling back of the layers getting to that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I think it's super interesting because when you would write this kind of script down, I think it does take real talent to read a script like this and be able to think of ways to to form this into something that needs to be a film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess you could look at the plumber again. I feel like we're bagging on the plumber quite a lot. But when he's giving his monologues, he's not doing stuff that's super interesting. He's just kind of doing his plumber thing, which he's talking about, so it's not super interesting. Whereas when he's talking about the superhero thing, he's trying to downplay it, and then having what he's doing contrasting to it so much, I guess. You know,
I
like
think
such
it
a different
also
thing.
helps that Dom's really good. Again, he's a good actor and he has a presence. And
Yeah.
I think, not to again bag on the actor from the plumber, because I think he's a decent actor, but I think the character Dom's playing, he's very good at like drawing you in to listen to him. Like, he's a good storyteller in general.
Yeah,
and that is what this is. It's literally just him telling a story. Because, like, you think about it, we don't see anything except for like that credit scene, which we should talk about as well.
We should definitely talk about that. Yeah,
but like for that 90% of that film is just
because
him
again,
telling you stuff.
the low budget, like you don't even see the TV screen.
No,
when
and it's
the news
really
reports
effective.
on.
I can't believe it works as well as it does. Like,
Yeah, because like when it came on, I did obviously notice it. I was like, okay, it would have been nice to see the TV, but I can understand why they didn't, because that's quite high budget. But yeah, I agree. They worked around it quite well. It was effective.
And then the credit scene,
Very cool.
they did a really fun, I guess, semi-animated, semi
Yeah,
stills.
it's like Sky High, isn't it?
It is a bit like Sky High, actually, with the just kind of this comic book look, and to do all the stuff that they couldn't do with a high budget.
Yeah.
But also in a comic booky, it's like a motion comic, because it's like images that move for a second, but then it's just a still frame essentially. And yeah, it's a really fun way to show it. I don't remember how the other one ended, like the next one we're gonna watch.
Okay.
I'm 90% sure it doesn't have an ending like that though.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out soon.
But this was a really interesting one, because it's quite an upbeat ending technically when you have the credits.
Yeah, no, I mean, he wins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I love it when a film makes you want to watch through the credits.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. Yeah, whether you're just like, I guess, sitting with the film or if it's got something interesting going on.
What would you rank this?
Oh, yeah. I've currently got Smoker's Delight, haven't I?
Yes.
And you've got Tickle Monster still.
Yeah.
You go first. I need to think about it for a sec.
I think this is really, really good short film. I think it's really commendable, especially with like the lack of budget. And I think it does do a lot of the stuff that I'm impressed by short films with, like especially again with Tickle Monster, where I'm like the conciseness of it and stuff like that. But I do think Tickle Monster's better. I swear I'm not just trying to stick with Tickle Monster, but I think I am gonna have to stick with Stickle Monster once again.
Yes, again.
I'm a Thickle Monster for this Stickle Monster.
You just got no interesting takes on films anymore.
Ooh,
You're a has-been.
Tickle Monster's the best.
We'll be on episode 300 and you'll still be singing its praises.
Imagine.
God. I really enjoyed the vibe of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I am very tempted to say I mean, maybe not better than Smoker's Delight, but better for me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, because I don't want to put this one and then immediately have to change it next week because the next one is better. I don't know.
You never know. I mean, that can happen.
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, hopefully it would if I did this. I think I'm going to switch. Yeah, I think I'm going to say this one is better.
Oh my days.
Because I really enjoyed Smoker's Delight.
Yeah.
I love the no plot, just vibes.
Yeah.
But something more than no plot, just vibes that I love is a really strong plot.
Yeah.
that works just perfectly.
Yeah.
It doesn't miss a single beat, really.
No.
It hits everything it needs to, and it gets out before it overstays its welcome.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, so I'm going to say this is better. Best film ever.
Wow. Put in audience kind of like... and Hero would like to thank the Academy. Don't know which one of them. And says, thank you, Jake.
You're very welcome. Maybe it's our Academy.
Oh, it just flew away.
Got that volcano guy to fight, I guess.
Again,
yeah, he keeps coming back. Don't know, every 4 years he comes back.
4 years. I mean, wait, has it been? No, it hasn't been. It's been over 4 years. It's been 5 years.
It would have been 2021.
Yeah, I missed it.
So 2025.
He's like, shit, I'm late. But yeah, so the next one, the next one's made in 2017, 4 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
And exactly that.
Yeah.
And it had a budget. It had a budget of 25,000.
25. Okay.
25,000.
All right.
It was
and we're gonna say this one's a zero budget. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I can't see they definitely spent money on it, but I reckon not that much.
100, maybe 200.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe more. I don't know. I would say a lot of it though is just people he knows, favors, stuff like that. Because there's also that CGI watch thing that keeps happening.
Oh, I forgot about that. I love that.
Oh,
that
really?
was such
I'm
a
not
good
a massive
effect.
fan of that, but it's a good effect. I think it's a bit redundant, but it's a good effect.
It's just
I don't
like
have anything against it.
Yeah, it's a cool effect, isn't it? And I don't know, a lot of the shots where he pulls, like, if he kept pulling up his watch into the screen, I'd be like, oh, this is really weird. I guess he could look at a clock.
It might be that they genuinely originally just had a watch.
And it was too small.
Yeah,
and they were like, let's just
what
edit
can we
another
do?
one on
Fuck it,
top.
let's do this.
I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was
Yeah.
fun. And I guess a good way to show off your editing skills, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
your post stuff.
I'm very curious how I feel about the next one. I'm very curious about how you feel about the next one.
Yeah, I'm guessing you've seen the next one as well,
I've
right?
seen it, but again,
Yeah.
not for a while. I remember it more than the first one, but I'm
Okay.
curious about how I'll feel about it. 'Cause it's different. It's pretty different. It's the same thing, but different.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, stay tuned to find out, I guess.
Yeah.
In 1 week's time.
Wop-a-wop.
Should we wrap it up here then?
Yeah.
This one's been quite a long one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you want to hit us with the same old ditty that we
Same
have
one.
every time?
Every time I do it at the beginning of the episode, end of the episode, every episode, and you still can't like just use the recording. Boop 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 boop. Jake, Alex, short take.
Brilliant.
I'm like the new Reggie Watts. What an ignorant claim.
Yep. Wow. Well, we'll see you next week. I'll link the short film and all that stuff down below.
You're always talking to these people. Can you just stop? Talk to me for once. Don't
Well,
talk to these
they're
people.
listening to us, aren't they?
Oh my god.
We need them to listen. Otherwise, we are redundant.
We're already redundant.
Yeah, maybe.
Bye.
Bye.